This is game 1 of the Mana against Marcop series. Mana's going to be leading Mence, and Marcop's going to be leading T-Tar. This is a very classical lead matchup, and the established theory is for T-Tar to get out, respecting the possibility of Choice Band Mence Brick Break. So we'll see if Marcop does that, and if Mana wants to exploit that in some way. So yeah, Marcop gets out, and that is Hidden Power Flying from Choice Band Mence. And the 51 is an interesting amount of damage because it suggests the Swampert has at least some offense. It's not going to be a max speed, really squishy spread, but it's also not going to be max HP, max defense. Maybe max HP with some special attack, but not speed. So, I'll see if Marcop wants to just try an Ice Beam. Maybe he knows it's a roll, but he doesn't want a chance, so he'll try and just go to a Flying Resist. And yeah, that's T-Tar back in, which can get itself in nicely on the Mence. And Mana knows that, not pushing too hard to leave a Choice Lock Mon in, and going for a smart double to T-Tar, which could catch a lot of different things. But in this case, it's just facing down the other T-Tar. Okay, so Mana opts to switch out, which just shows he doesn't want to take a T-Tar trade this early necessarily, while knowing so little about Marcop's team. And Marcop is very happy to press Brick Break with what is pretty much definitely a mixed tar because of just how little it's doing to this defensive Coon. And the fact he wants to take this T-Tar trade really suggests he's using something super aggressive. Okay, so Cloy comes in, trying to set up on the defensive Coon. Mana makes a really nice play to just scout it out on the obvious switch. Brings T-Tar in again. So we'll see if Mana wants to roar again, keep trying to scout, or just surf and take a bit of damage on Cloyster. And that is surf 427. So Cloyster's going to get them up here, at least one layer. There's spikes and another surf, just whittling this Cloyster down, forcing it into a range where it's going to be encouraged to explode, and then Mana will try and play around that. There's the old one layer good, two layer bad theory, because 16 point whatever it is not actually that much of an increase from 12.25. So I think that might be in Marcop's head. So he's thinking about just taking a layer and exploding. I don't know if you want to explode this early though, because you've seen just so little, and this defensive Coon suggests that yeah, there could very possibly be some kind of spin support behind there. But then still, you might just take a boom if you're really trying to play momentum, because that's what Marcop's been doing so far with trying to break the other T-Tar. So I think Mana's definitely going to get out here to play around the explosion. And Marcop makes a double into Venusaur. We'll just see if this Venusaur is faster. Faster than Jirachi. Yes, it is. Which might make you think, okay, Mana's Jirachi is Asterachi. So Marcop could press sleep, or he could be a little bit more conservative and just play around maybe like a slower psychic set like Wish Calm Mind, because I think missing sleep into taking a psychic is could be an issue. Because Venusaur is just so good against this defensive Coon that you might want to keep Venusaur healthy for late games, especially if you can't get a close to boom on it. So we'll see if Marcop wants to just sleep whatever. No, just plays it safe, goes into T-Tar, and this Rachi shows it is indeed Asterachi. Body Slam doesn't parry, but it looks like T-Tar is not gaining leftovers anyway, so that would have been a Lum, but still, Lumberry is not burned. Mana's going to get this Mence back in on the very obvious Fire Blast, because, of course, Tyranitar is sort of forced to Fire Blast against an Asterachi staring it down. And Mence has another chance to throw off a move. So what could Mence do? Mence could Brick Break, obviously covers T-Tar staying in, Brick Break, 2-hit KO, Swampert, and then of course Venusaur is the resist. There's also making the predict going for Hidden Power Flying, which loses to Marcop. Just trying to stay in, and maybe Ice Beam, I guess, on this set. Or maybe something else, EQ, which hits everything here. No, it's the fourth move. It's Rock Slide, which is interesting for me. I think if I was Mana, I Earthquaked almost definitely, because a T-Tar that's running Brick Break and Fire Blast is going to be squishy enough to die to Earthquake from 92 easily. And of course Earthquake covers everything shown. And I guess there's obviously ground immunes in the back, but at least it forces him to show something new. And if there's, say, for example, a Gengar that comes into Earthquake, still quite a risky move for Marcop to make. Anyway, Venusaur comes in. I'm not even sure I like Venusaur either. I think I would have considered sacking Cloyster or something, because Venusaur, I guess, was looking to tank a Brick Break. But Rock Slide for 52, that's a lot, and Venusaur obviously can't stay in again. So I think Marcop's going to go to Pert here, which is the Rock Resist, obviously, which is going to prompt Mana to go to Coon, very much a go-to against defensive Pert. Okay, that's a fine choice too. Gar, which covers the doubles to Cloyster and Venusaur that could come pretty easily against the obvious Coon switch. So yeah, that's a nice play revealing Gengar there. And I think Venusaur, because it looks like it has speed of some kind, or maybe not that much speed, I think it will have enough speed that it's not necessarily tanky enough to be able to stay in on Gengar. So I think Gengar's going to fire off an attack, and Marcop's going to have to get out because he wants to sleep something. He's not slept anything yet. There's T-Tar taking 26 from Ice Punch, and this Gengar looks like a massive problem right now for Marcop to deal with what he's shown, because T-Tar's not tanky at all. If the Gengar has Hidden Power Grass, it's really going to be able to pressure T-Tar hard. And I just don't know if this T-Tar would have Crunch either. It could have Crunch. We'll see if Mana wants to respect Crunch. I might I might play slightly conservative and respect Crunch just because Gar looks so good, and just go to Kuhn because there's sort of a limited amount that Kuhn's going to do at this point in the game because Pert is quite low, and Kuhn looks like his main job is going to be dealing with Pert. Okay, there's Giga. 41. Does he have Crunch? Does he have Crunch? No, Ice Beam. And this looks like a really, really awful situation for Marcop early. Doesn't look like he has any kind of a proper special wall from the way he switched that T-Tower in. He looks really uncomfortable against Gengar. I think maybe he's got Jolteon, and that initial term where he bought T-Tar in like that with Lam was to play around maybe status of some kind. I'm really, I don't know. He looks very uncomfortable against Gengar. So will Marcop sack T-Tar? Well, you might think, okay, T-Tar's at 25, he's really not going to be that effective. But then there is this Asterachi, which it actually walls kind of still, even at 25. And it's got a Lumberry, of course, still to remove a Paraslam. So he might choose to conserve if he has something that he can bring in, that is. Brings an Aero, and Mana's gonna get Big Fat T-Bolt for 85. Okay, so Gengar is obviously gonna switch out. And the question is, to what? Jirachi seems sort of like quite intuitive. It's rock resist, right? Kuhn's also quite intuitive. It's healthy, but he might want to keep Kuhn's health now that this Aero is being revealed because Kuhn is more of a blanket switch to Aero and eliminates predicting right. Finally, there is the option of going to T-Tar as well. And is Marcop able or willing to make a prediction and go for an Earthquake, trying to nail Jirachi? So this is another really interesting turn. There's been a lot of mind games with these choice band mons this game. Mana brings in T-Tar, choosing not to bring in Jirachi for fear of Earthquake, and of course this Asterachi looks pretty good against what seems to be aggro with another Agromon in the back, and this threat of Para and T-Tar relatively low, and it's not going to be able to switch into Asterachi forever, so he doesn't want to let the Rachi take damage. So we'll see. This could be a Pursuit Tar, in which case it would trap Aerodactyl. We'll see if Marcop thinks it's a Pursuit Tar and just tries to stay in and go for the flinch and try and avoid dying that way, as opposed to switching. So yeah, he stays in. Can he flinch? Can he flinch? Can he flinch? No, gets pursuited. So Aero's down as well. An Aero being down, pretty important. Aero was the one thing faster than Gar. So it could get really, really tricky at this point for Marcop. He's got what I would say is a very bad team matchup at this point. So we've seen 5 Mons on each side. The lasts, I've not really put much thought into the lasts yet. They're quite difficult to get a measure of. So I think Mana might have some kind of spin as last. Claydol would make sense. Also gives him a ground type, which is nice as electric immune to pivot a bit more around Zapdos, which could be a problem occasionally. So Claydol is something I would think of in this last slot. As for Marcop, I think possibly a Gengar to keep up offensive pressure. Obviously, to spin block with close to spikes, it's fast, it's aggro, can boom. So I think Gar would make sense. I also sort of thought about Jolteon as a possibility for the last earlier, but I think we would have seen Jolteon already coming into Gar. So, yep, there's Gar from Marcop as the last. And can it threaten? Depends on the set. Gar could be in a really good spot because this Pursuit Tar, which is what teams would usually use to deal with Gar, is very low. It's got weakened to the point where Gar can presumably kill it from the way it's come in there. So if it's Wisp Gar, it can really start pressuring, especially if it's Wisp Taunt Gar, it can really pressure this Jirachi. And Marcop's own Gar could be in a good position. Okay, so Mana's gonna conserve T-Tar. Maybe looking to try and pass a wish to it somehow, or maybe keeping it there. There's a possibility of sleep fodder. But yeah, I still think that's quite a safe Jirachi anyway, because he's kind of necessitated to press Hidden Power against the T-Tar that's threatening to crunch and one-shot. So we'll see if T-Tar can do anything other than get sacked later on. Now, Hidden Power Grass makes Will-O-The-Wisp a lot less likely, which is something that Jirachi would be happy with. And I would say Jirachi is in a great spot, because Pert's low, T-Tar's low. Fire Punch doing 36 into another Fire Punch for 25. 36 is not going to be enough to crack this Jirachi if Gengar doesn't have any kind of status. I can't see it having Hypnosis because he's got a Venusaur. So I think Jirachi might well be walling this Gengar. It's definitely going to Wish up here, or rather just get the free protect him, because why not? Gengar's going to try and force the issue and stay in. So, yeah, Fire Punch into a Wish, and Mana's just going to safely protect as Marcop will get his... Oh, wow. That's a really nice body slam. That's cleverly done. Exploiting that protect turn. Is that a necessary prediction? I don't know if it's necessary. I think I would have protected that myself, because of course I think he was at 38, which we saw Fire Punches doing 36 and 32, and I mean, I guess there's a possibility of a high roll. I don't know if that's a risk you need to take, but this body slam has really, really paid off, because Swampert is that bit weaker and also is paralyzed. So if I'm Mana, I switch straight out here, because Jirachi is at this point a win condition, because it's just in such a great spot. As long as it doesn't get slapped or have to take a trade with T-Tar somehow, I think Jirachi is going to win the game. So I think mana should conserve its health at all costs. Maybe go to Coon. I mean, sure, yeah, I get the protect turn first. You know, actually, I'm not sure if I would have protected there. I think I would have just gone straight out. Because I think Swampert being that bit lower could actually be more important than Jirachi having the extra 6%. Okay, Fori. Yeah, that's good. And it gets another. It's another para. Now Fori obviously can't spin because of the Gar, but what Fori can do is get a spike up. And that spike's going to be pretty important in pressurizing. Especially the T-Tar and Swampert, which are low. It's going to put Cloyster and Venusaur on a timer as well, so this spike's going to be kind of killer. Yep, there we go, there's the spike. And I think Fori has done kind of what it's going to do at this point, which is to get the spike up. So I think mana might be well served just sleep sacking the thing. Because all Fori is going to do at this point is let Gar run unless it has HP Ghost of some kind. And I think mana doesn't necessarily want to let anything else take the sleep just yet. I think the most likely sleep sack candidate is either Mence or T-Tar, but I think both of them could still have some use beyond just taking sleep. So the other good thing is you can play for a miss here if Marcop chooses to sleep powder and then just actually get your spin, which would totally seal the game. So yeah, maybe actually on turn 25 I went to Gengar because you get another chance to I would have went to Gengar if I was Marcop because you get another chance to just start trying to pressure this Jirachi down somehow. Marcop needs to find some kind of a way to just get a hit off on Jirachi so that he can just have some kind of a chance of Gar in the end game. Because Gar honestly looks good. Gar looks good if he can just get this Asterachi down. I mean, there's going to be the question of Gar on Gar speed. I think they're both going to be quite fast because they're offensive sets. So, yeah, we'll see Venusaur on Fori. Okay, Sleep Powder, and that hits. And Hidden Path Fire won't kill. So mana can potentially fish for an early wake up if he wants to. Okay, Leech misses. And that's not Hidden Path Fire either, so that's another turn of sleep down. Threatening a spin. Yep, there's HP Fire finally. And Fori is still sleeping. Now at this point, I think Mana's going to want to switch Fori out because he wants to keep the sleep clause active. So maybe maybe a T-Tar sack here might make sense for mana. Keep a sleeping Mon so that Jirachi's just in that good of a position. And Marcop makes a nice play. That Gengar is completely risk free as well, because if Fori wakes up, probably somehow stays in and wakes up for some reason, then it would only ever be spinning. And of course, Gengar covers Mence, covers T-Tar, um, covers the two sort of intuitive switches. So, um, and is faster than the CB Mence as well. So, if I'm Marcop, I maybe just somehow try and get this Jirachi down with just beating it down with fire punches, playing for crits, playing for getting a Pert and T-Tar back in on the Jirachi wish, and predicting a switch here. So we'll see if he can do that. Can he? No. That's just Ice Punch for 9. So Jirachi can throw off an attack here. Yeah, Fire Punch for 35 into a Fire Punch for 25, and this is just a losing battle, really, for Gengar. Just not a good situation. So Jirachi can protect, wish, do all of its funky stuff. Yep, there's Pert. Jirachi throws up a wish, and it can just protect to get itself healthy again, so that it can just keep coming in on Gengar like it's doing. And then you can get back out to Coon and start playing the same loop. And this Pert, this T-Tar, is close to there all on a timer. Yep. And that is a nice play though from nice play from Marcop there, getting Cloyster in, getting it back in on Coon to threaten Explosion. We'll see if Mana wants to try and predict that by going to Gar, or even like sacking T-Tar and then going to Gar afterwards to just really pressure and fuck something up. So yeah, if I'm Mana here, I think I might sack T-Tar to claim something with Gengar. I think that's a nice play. It seems super safe and easy winning. Chooses to stay in and roar. I mean, yeah, I guess he gets prediction right. And I guess getting your Coon boomed on at this stage of the game is, I mean, it's not great because there's still a Swampert there, right? And still a T-Tar there. But it's not the end of the world. Now, Ros Garin, and what was Mana going to want to do here? I think I think he will just want to stay in and take the damage trade because Gengar is sort of like the win condition for Marcop, and any damage you can get on that is just so crucial. So yeah, it's gonna stay in and surf. I think Marcop might respect that and go out to the Venusaurus. Yep, voila. So Sora's back in. And it's threatening a Giga Drain, can Leech Seed up to recover itself. So yet again, Mana could potentially sack T-Tar off. He just got this option for a T-Tar sack at any stage. Because T-Tar sack and Gar claims something. And of course, Sleep Claws is down. I think he definitely just sacks T-Tar. Okay. Goes to Fortress. Okay, yeah, I guess it's yeah, it's fine playing around the grass move. One thing is that you do lose your sleeping mon, so Venusaur can potentially sleep something like this Jirachi. Because if you sleep Jirachi, then Gengar is still looking really, really threatening. So I guess keeping T-Tar is still something that Mana might be trying to pass a wish to it on a turn where Gengar's trying to Fire Punch. Yeah, I don't know. I just think if I was Mana, I would have taken my T-Tar second Gengar kill. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Okay, so yeah, Mana's gonna actually just get in Fortress to take a Leech Seed. It would have only have been a Leech Seed or a Grass move. And then just keep Fori alive. 2% Sleeping Mon. So not only is it keeping that Sleep Clause going, but it's a Spike Sack for whenever Mana wants it. And Jirachi's back in on Gengar to Fire Punch. Just punch the thing down. Yep, there's Pert, and there's Fire Punch for 7. I think Mana should still get out to Coon here. Even though Pert is so low, your Jirachi, it's the win condition, you just want to play so carefully with it, avoid getting slapped, avoid tanking an Earthquake. Of course, you've still got a Coon. I mean, sure, that lets Venusaur in, but there's still the line of, I mean, at this point, you could probably just Spike Sack Fortress as well. I think Venusaur might be too low to get another sleep. So I think Jirachi should definitely switch out here. Oh, Body Slam, can he avoid full power? No, he can't. So I think Mana just kind of got unpunished there. Because if Pert EQs, that'll do probably in the 50s. And then after the next Body Slam kills, this T-Tar can come in again and threaten to Fire Blast. And of course, sure, there's a couple of Protect Hunts, and Jirachi will be at about 60 odd, which means it can't actually come into Gengar Fire Punch, which could get problematic. I just think you go to Coon, because the Coon is there and it's walling Pert. So I think that might have been a mistake from Mana, but he avoids getting punished for it because there is a full power and next Body Slam kills. So Marcop's going to go to T-Tar here, still at 13, can still tank a hit, and threaten to Fire Blast. And, okay, Mana's taking his T-Tar sack now. Sure. And he can now go to Mence to get a free Hidden Power Flying kill on anything. So, yeah, there is Mence, and the only way Marcop has a chance now is if Mana somehow lets Jirachi get slept after sacking Fortress, which he just won't. So I think Mana should just sack Mence here. Oh, no, not sure. Not sure about that. I don't like that. Because that's the Sleeping Mon dead, which means Venusaur can sleep something again. It can get in on Coon quite easily still. It's faster than Jirachi. I think that's a mistake, sacking Fortress like that. I think you just sack Mence. And now he goes to Jirachi on the Gengar and takes a Fire Punch. Yep. Sacks off Cloyster, just trying to get this sleep somehow. I think Mana's got the game sealed. Definitely get a nice quick protect here, back to 100. And then Mana should let, I think, Mence take sleep. Because Mence taking sleep covers Giga Drain. Whereas the Suicune there does not cover Giga Drain. So I think that's a mistake. But it's not the end of the world. Still won. Kuhn's sleeping. And now Mana can sack Mence. Yep. Marcop knows Mence is coming, so goes to Gengar. And he'll take his Ice Punch kill because Mence is never doing anything other than just sacking itself there. And Jirachi can come in, safe from sleep, nice and healthy, and it'll just start punching. Yeah, we'll get its protect. It's not being directly threatened by Venusaur, so no reason not to do that. And Mana has the game. I mean, of course, he's even still got a Gengar in the back. Didn't even talk about how much of a win condition Gengar is. So, I think this game was strange because it was an incredibly strong matchup for Mana. Like, ridiculously so. As Aerodactyl is just insane against this kind of offense, especially if T-Tar, the Lum T-Tar that usually would be dealing with Aerodactyl best, and the Swampert, both of those are forced to take big hits early. The Pert took a Choice Band Mence Hidden Power Flying, which just really made life difficult for it. It couldn't come in as easily to Rachi as it wanted. And the T-Tar had to come into Gengar, which was just an incredibly awkward sequence, and it got low. So once T-Tar and Pert got low, Rachi was in a fantastic position, and it was pretty hard to fuck up from there for Mana. And yeah, I don't know. I think Mana actually made quite a few mistakes with how he played. He probably could have just taken a T-Tar sack at various points and just used his Gengar to kill things. But it ended up working out because he was just so far ahead and didn't make any sort of glaring mistakes, just nitpicks from me, really. I must have said a million times, okay, this is a mistake from Mana, but like, really it's the same difference when you have this kind of a team matchup. So that was game one. See how Marco replies.